Hello, podcast listeners. A very welcome back to another episode of Arvind Speaks. Apologies, I'm late. I got delayed a bit. The episode's supposed to be up pretty much earlier, but again, you know, I started recording. I thought, I'm not able to speak properly. I'm not able to give you the information I really wanted to. I decided to leave a couple of days off and come back and do this episode. And one more thing is, like, there was Vinayak Nimajan happening. There are a lot of sounds that I don't really have the resources to edit it properly, so I waited for this quiet time and I'm recording this now. So once again, the RDRD is the audio blog where I'll be sharing my thoughts, my expertise and experiences and knowledge, right? I really know that I'm really not a big of a deal for a lot of people, plenty of people, even in my connections, or even in my inner circle. But again, for some people, probably younger people or my friends, some of them, the people I connect, the people I meet. So I really believe that sharing your perspective and is important. That's how you get to connect with like-minded people, right? So that's the reason I do it. I enjoy doing it. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I always wanted to have podcasts, and so I have it now. So I really want to make sure the resource I have, the opportunity I have will pay off for myself as well as the people who are listening as well. So hopefully you will learn something out of this, and let's start the episodes now. Today, I'll be speaking about the theme of the show today is why I really think learning, doing, and adjusting is important in 2021. I mean, even in 2027 or 2035, I think it'll be relevant. So I really want to be relevant, right? Even when you look back after 10 years, I want to be very much relevant, irrespective of the time. And I know that there is a lot happening. There are a lot of disruptions happening, but again, throughout all these disruptions, I whatever I speak, I really want to be relevant. When I'm speaking in a public platform, I really want to be relevant. So, right? Basically historically right, as Gary Vee sometimes says. I do want to be historically right. So what I would like to talk about is, like, why I am a small guy. I worked in a restaurant and came back to India 2 years ago, and I worked with a couple of firms doing marketing, learning marketing, recruiting and learning recruiting, right? So I have this certain experiences, and out of all these experiences, I learned I look up to a lot of people on the internet, and I learn from them. I listen to them, and I understood that the markets change all the time. What do I really mean by that? Today there could be a craft today that's very much well paid, and probably after 10 years it might not, even after 10 years, probably the next year it might not be around, right? So being able to adjust to the situations, being able to adjust to the market, because you don't always time the market, right? So you can't time the market. All you can do is adjust to the market, right? For example, let's say Java. I mean, if you are a developer, if you're a software developer, you're the guy back in the day. Even today, you are still the guy. But again, when you talk about data analytics, data science, and they are becoming those jobs are booming right today. According to as far as my knowledge, I mean, of course, there are other certain technologies. There are, entrepreneurship is being put on a pedestal, at least on public platforms, like even in the news, we always listen to this startup has become a unicorn now, and even in the startup land, even everywhere else, right? So people look up to IT technology, and because technology is technology evolution. I really believe that it's gonna keep on continue. So yeah, but at the same time, when it comes to specializations, let's say you to keep it simple, you might be good at English, and someone might be good at science, and someone might be very good at maths, right? But again, you three of them are very much talented, and they're the top when it comes to their craft. But at the same time, the market might respect maths on that particular day. So the person who has the knowledge in that particular area will be shining, will be pretty much shining. So that's what I'm really that's what I really know. So when you're the guy, when you're working, you kind of know what I'm trying to say, right? So you might be getting very good income, but at the same time, the craft might go away the next day, or might, I don't want to come off in a negative way, but again, what I really am trying to tell you is that the markets change. So learning how to adjust to the market, having more than one skill, or more than to survive, having good surviving skills is like adjusting to the market. You might be living in a different city today, and you might have to move to different city, right? So then the resources, the people who you live with might have different approaches to life. So you'll have to be able to adjust to the market. You will have to be able to adjust to the environment you're living in, right? So I really wanted to tell you. And second thing is like why I really think that learning is very much important. When you are a student, because for me, I know the stats, right? The people who listen to the show, they're pretty much early 20s to mid 30s. So early 20s, that kid might be nowadays I interact with younger kids as well. They might be listening to podcasts as well. Nowadays people are even the kids have smartphones, and they have these access to all these apps, and they are into technology more than we did when we were very much younger. So they might be listening as well. So that's the reason I'm telling this. When you're in school, when you're in college, when you're studying, people might tell you that learning stops here, and once you complete your education, you're set to go, and you will be working, and you won't be learning anything, you won't be educating yourself. But that's completely bullshit. That's completely false. Every single day, when you're 60, there's pretty much to learn. The market and the world keeps on evolving. New inventions, new disruptions are coming off, and you can lead a life in the mountains. But again, if you want to be relevant to a lot of people, if you want to be in the technology world, if you want to be around with most people, so learning is pretty much important. I really want you to understand that learning doesn't stop in the school, learning doesn't stop in the college, and at the same time, people who might not have a degree can still come up with pretty good business ideas. They can still come up with a unicorn startup idea. So that's education is good. Learning is important, but again, learning doesn't stop in the college. Learning doesn't stop in the schooling, while you're schooling. That I really know, because to be relevant, to talk to people, to communicate with people, to grow, you'll have to keep on learning something, whether it's a new craft, whether it's a new hobby. There'll be plenty of things to choose. You don't need to worry. But again, if you're younger, if you're less than 20, I really want you to love learning new things, love educating yourself, love putting your knowledge, love you putting your skill set on the pedestal. At the same time, do respect others, right? So that's main important. But again, learning doesn't stop in the college. The second thing is like doing, right? It's simple. When you're let's take an example of doing a math problem, right? We won't be able to study maths to actually perform in the exam, to actually practically do that. You'll have to start doing it, right? So whether it's a multiplication, whether it's a problem, same with computing. If you can't read computing, you can't read programming, right? So you'll have to start doing, because by doing you get to understand what's really happening and what's correct and what's not right, and what's feasible and what's not feasible, and you come up with this experience of doing certain things. So you have, for example, let's keep it simple, because I started seeing younger crowd in the listeners list. So I would probably put it in this particular way. When you're doing a math problem, you do it once, you remember it, okay. But again, when you're given probably 20 problems and 20 different problems, then you get to understand it better. Then you get to perceive it actually, how to do the calculations, how to do the trigonometry, or whatever it is, whatever the craft it is. So doing is the very important thing. Learning, doing, and adjusting, right? So having information is one thing. You can have knowledge, you can have skill set, but again, if you're not consistently doing, your knowledge will become irrelevant over the time. So by doing the things, let's say learning a language. If you want to learn a foreign language, right? So you can read how to pronounce a name, and you can read how to speak in French. But at the same time, once you start speaking, whether it's even with communication, even with English, once you start speaking, once you actually start doing, then only you will get better. Your skill set gets better. Maybe you can have an information, you can have a book, but again, the more you do, the better you become. So I hope it sounded true, because I really want it to be true as well. So whether you're young or old, irrespective of age, learning things and doing those things and adjusting to the market, adjusting to the people, adjusting to your environment is pretty much important. That'll be one huge factor for your success as well as happiness in the future. I hope it really helped you, and that's what I really wanted to say. And I'll come back again with a new episode very soon. Until then, have fun, have a great day. Cheers.